See so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up?
I'm nervous as hell right now.
Satan and all shady are my enemy. I don't run from the fight. I'm not scared of consequences, because if you're scared of consequences, then that means that breeds fear, and fear means you gonna stop. And we can't ever afford to stop.
30 years, I've done nothing but collect information.
Remember when Katt Williams dropped those explosive Club Shay Shay revelations and most people laughed it off like he'd lost it? Even Steve Harvey looked maddled, struggling to get a full sentence out whenever the topic came up. Fast forward to now, and suddenly federal witnesses are naming names. Snoop Dogg is being mentioned in sealed testimony, and Kim Porter's real diary has allegedly surfaced with compromising photos. All those crazy things Katt said, they're quietly lining up inside federal case files. This isn't gossip anymore, and it's definitely not clickbait. This is a so-called madman being proven right in real time, while Hollywood scrambles to distance itself from the wreckage of Diddy's crumbling empire.
Who had publicly alleged that this is what was going on in Hollywood, Katt Williams being one of them. Take a listen to what he said to Shannon Sharpe on his podcast, and this is before the producer had dropped his lawsuit. Take a listen.
I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. And I should make it clear that in this lawsuit, the reason why Universal Music Group is being sued by Lil Rod is because he alleges that it's them that is sitting at the top of this ring. So essentially, Diddy is working for somebody else, and that person that he named in his lawsuit was Lucien Grange. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucien Grange was having some sort of a relationship with Diddy. So he is the person that controls Diddy, that Lucien Grange was aware of these parties, that Universal Music Group was aware of these parties. Essentially, that Diddy is the thug and the gangster working on behalf of Lucien Grange. That is the takeaway that you get when you read this lawsuit. So how odd that rather than the media being unbelievably interested, as I was, completely seized by this lawsuit, as I was, rather than them asking questions about Fahim, asking questions about Lucien Grange, who's got a very interesting past, changed his name. I don't tend to trust men that change their last names, least of all 3 times, as his family has done. Rather than any of that, they started attacking me for reading the lawsuit, for putting together the clips. How dare you?
For years, mainstream media pushed the narrative that Katt was just another comedian spiraling. But what if those wild predictions weren't jokes at all? They were receipts waiting to be validated. Katt himself said it straight. For 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information. Not punchlines, not clout, information. He described it like an intelligence operation, 3 decades of quietly stacking Hollywood's darkest secrets while everyone else chased fame and fast money. He warned people. He said, "I know things I shouldn't know, and they all know I know." And that single line is reportedly echoing through boardrooms all across Los Angeles right now.
Recognize if you keep calling people a conspiracy theorist and you keep saying it's a conspiracy, that people may shy away from the topic. I don't suffer from that. I want to know what's going on, as should every single person in this country, because there should be no individual in the entire world that can beat a woman on camera and not face any charges. That is just an utter insanity. It begs the question as to what is actually going on in Hollywood. And I think the answer is that Hollywood has been being run by a
Katt didn't just guess what was happening behind velvet ropes and locked doors. He knew. He had proof. While other comedians stayed quiet to protect their careers, Katt was building something far more dangerous. Unfiltered truth backed by hard evidence. And don't just take my word for it. When Candace Owens, someone known for calling out powerful figures without fear, steps up and vouches for Katt's credibility, that's a major shift. At that point, we're not talking rumors. We're talking documented reality unfolding in real time. Listen closely to Candace's tone. That's not casual support. That's confirmation. She wasn't blindly defending Katt Williams. She was saying his information was years ahead of federal investigators. According to her, Katt had tabs on Diddy's connections with Lucien and Grange before lawsuits ever hit the courtroom. That's not luck, that's deep-level knowledge. Candace didn't just co-sign Katt, she exposed that he was sitting on insider intel that should have blown headlines long ago. While people mocked him as paranoid or unhinged, Katt was sharing details that are now showing up inside federal indictments. And here's the chilling part. Candace didn't call Hollywood an industry. She called it what she believes it really is, a gang.
Digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them. Famous?
Not a label, not a studio, a gang. Organized power in tailored suits, not talent scouts and producers. A system that protects its own at all costs. Candace said that same group didn't want Diddy touched, even with disturbing footage already out in the open. Let that sink in. This stopped being entertainment a long time ago. What we're looking at now feels like a criminal operation hiding behind red carpets, awards shows, and private jets. So the question isn't whether Katt was right, that's been answered. The real question is how many celebrities are still stuck in that web of silence, pressure, and fear. Katt's network saw it coming, and now grand juries are catching up, with sealed evidence backing every word. This isn't a YouTube conspiracy or a viral Twitter thread. This is federal grand jury territory, real courtroom pressure. Courtney Burgess has now testified under oath about 11 flash drives allegedly containing intimate footage involving 8 celebrities and Sean Diddy Combs. And somehow it gets even darker.
You understand? And a lot of more people, their career went up when they sat on this man's lap as the director. You understand?
Oh, man.
And that's why a lot of them sold their soul to be on the director chair.
Tell us some of the differences between the PG version of the book and the R-rated. Like, what was changed in to the PG version?
The rated book got Snoop letting Diddy rub on his hand.
Damn.
You understand? And that's where one of the X's come from, Snoop.
Can you hold it up a little bit more? Let me see how that. Oh yeah, dang.
You understand? We don't hold our man hand. We shake it and get it back in our pocket.
Right.
You understand? They got Diddy and Neo. And if you heard Neo's wife call him Little Diddy, that he like freak off, get high and get freak off. They all baby oil you up.
Oh man, what the hell is that?
You understand?
Yeah.
The eyes
not him
wide.
and the son. That's his son, right?
Yeah. You understand?
Wow. Damn.
And you got Andre Harrell. He hugged up like they finished tongue kissing.
Yeah.
You know, we don't hug on our boys like that, sitting that close on each other's lap. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Snoop and Diddy, you know, in an appropriate way. But the reason why they in there is
6 men, 2 women, all allegedly under the influence in those videos. Notice how the news anchors report this. Carefully, legally, deliberately. They're not calling it entertainment, they're calling it crime. The individuals shown are referred to as alleged victims. Prosecutors reportedly know exactly who they are, but their identities are being protected, even though they're famous. That alone tells you how serious this is. Now brace yourself, because this is where Snoop Dogg's name enters federal testimony. Courtney Burgess didn't just claim he had tapes. He said he was in possession of Kim Porter's original memoir. And inside that memoir, allegedly compromising photos involving Diddy, Snoop Dogg, Andre Harrell, and others. This isn't tabloid chaos. This is alleged evidence, reportedly preserved by Kim Porter herself, the mother of Diddy's children. She wasn't an outsider looking in. She lived inside that world for over a decade. And it raises a haunting possibility. Kim may have been quietly documenting everything, not by choice, but by survival, an unwilling archivist of chaos unfolding around her. And the timing? Bone-chilling.
Been confronted by so many law enforcement for the CDs, even my studio equipment was counterfeit.
So the feds came and got stuff?
Yeah, even I got a new phone. I had to get a new phone because they took the phone and did what they did. I wasn't going to use the same phone. So I just, it's not mine to keep. This is all I needed. And this raid.
Someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential.
Presidential?
No, we're talking about Diddy. We're going to come back to that, LB. Stay with me. We don't go any further until we get the result.
Man.
Hey, but anyway, once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And now because they found out that I know that I'm on them tapes with them doing that to me, these are people that have smiled in my face since then. I had no idea that. But if there's a certain way the tape is going to come out, and there's a certain way.
Kim Porter suddenly passed away from pneumonia in 2018, right as federal pressure around Diddy's circle was beginning to tighten. Too neat, too sudden. Now those flash drives, those photos, that diary, they're all resurfacing as potential evidence in what could become one of the biggest celebrity takedowns ever. Let's be honest, a healthy 47-year-old woman doesn't just die from pneumonia without raising serious questions. Kim wasn't unaware. Her alleged memoir suggests she understood the danger surrounding her. She saw the storm forming. Then came the raids. Federal agents reportedly seized devices from Courtney Burgess, but here's the key detail. He had backups. That alone speaks volumes. Authorities didn't dismiss him as a conspiracy theorist. They treated him like a critical witness in an active federal case. And Burgess isn't the only one shining a harsh light on what allegedly happened at Diddy's events. Prosecutors now have multiple accusers describing what they call freak-off parties, underground Hollywood chaos where rules didn't exist and power ruled everything.
I got shot in Vegas. Was Snoop at the hospital?
So, Snoop didn't go nowhere near the hospital. So when it happened, as you know, for some strange reason, but now we know the real reason, Snoop did not attend the fight with us or the club, the after party at Club 662. And it was so crazy about that, we thought it was strange that he wasn't there. This is the first one he didn't attend. And according to Warren G and everybody else, now we know why he didn't. But to get straight to the point was this. I was at my house in Vegas, and I started calling Snoop, telling him, hey, what's up? You know, like it's something wrong with this situation. Pac in the hospital, come holler at him, come check on him. So he drove down, and I was at the house waiting on him. And Tupac's mother was at my house. So we back by the pool, and in the pool area is like two big guest houses. So as when Snoop come up, and there's other people out there, we walk in the back to talk. As we start talking, I said, you know, I'm on him, like, man, why you ain't here? You should have been at the hospital. And then Tupac's mother was there, the fanny. She was like, yeah, I know you should want to see him. He told her, he was like, well, look, Tupac hating me right now. He mad at me. He hates me. So I feel bad, and that's why I didn't go up there. And Tupac's mother said, well, look, Pac was mad at me too for for a few things I'd rather not swear than to some stealing shit, she said, right? But, you know, we all do that with our mothers. So she said, well, he was mad at me too, but that's my son, I'm there. And if he hates you, you still supposed to go do the right thing and go visit him, right? So as we start talking, Snoop just start crying and fell down and start throwing up, like literally throwing up, right? So we looking at him like, damn, what happened to this dude? So once he get up and explain to him, and you know, we didn't think weird, nothing weird. We just thought he really emotional right now and he's throwing up, you know? So when he got himself together, we were still talking to him. Pac's mother says, it's gonna be all right. He said, look.
And here's where it really takes a turn. One witness claims she's not only on the tapes Homeland Security seized from Diddy's mansion, she says she's seen Snoop Dogg and other A-list celebrities on them too. Let that sink in. Homeland Security doesn't kick down doors for fun. They move when they believe real evidence exists that could support criminal charges. So now we're talking about federal evidence tapes that allegedly feature well-known celebrities. And it's not just about who was present, it's about what was happening. This isn't grainy party footage or harmless celebrity nonsense. This is material prosecutors reportedly believe could point to criminal activity. And Snoop's game isn't being tossed around randomly. It's coming directly from witnesses connected to raids and sworn testimony. That's not a rumor cloud, that's a full-blown wildfire. And the way the feds are moving, it feels like they're confident they've got receipts to back up every claim. The federal pressure around Snoop Dogg's alleged ties to Diddy gets even heavier once you look at his past and the pattern of questionable loyalty that industry insiders have whispered about for years. Now imagine this, Suge Knight sitting behind bars with nothing left to protect, finally talking.
A whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience, Suge. You said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was, and he now?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Harrell, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him. You're right.
This is a man with nothing to lose and decades of secrets ready to spill. When Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas, Suge was right there in the car. He even caught shrapnel himself. He witnessed everything that unfolded afterward. And here's the part that still raises eyebrows. Snoop was nowhere to be found. According to Suge, Snoop never once showed up at the hospital while Tupac was fighting for his life, not a single visit. When Snoop finally appeared days later at Suge's house with Tupac's mother, he reportedly broke down crying, repeating, "It's going to be all right." But that's the question. Why say that? Why not fight for hope? Why not act like someone who believed his friend would survive? To Suge, it felt like Snoop already knew how it would end. His theory? Snoop had allegedly made a deal behind the scenes, and the guilt was too heavy to face Pac while he was still alive. Let that sit with you. Tupac gets shot after confronting Orlando Anderson, a known Crip affiliate, and Snoop, who's long had verified ties to Cripsets, is completely absent while his so-called friend is dying. That's not just distance, that's eerie silence. Then he shows up late, emotional, overwhelmed, acting like a man who'd already accepted Pac's fate. The timeline doesn't add up unless you start asking uncomfortable questions. And now, with Snoop's name popping up in federal evidence tied to Diddy's alleged crimes, that old suspicion is resurfacing in a serious way.
Very surprised. I'm ultimately surprised. Like, I don't be expecting none of this type of things to be happening. You know, like I say, when I was given my position of power and given my position of, you know, leadership, I like to take advantage of it and treat people good and make sure that people that work with me don't feel like they work for me. And when they're ready to leave, and if we have a misunderstanding, if there is a separation, it's ended on love. It's never bad vibes or anything of that nature. So I try to be a better boss based off of the bosses that I was around when I was just an employee, just an artist. So I try to like take the good things that they did and subtract the bad things that they did. Some of the things I didn't know what they did because I was only entitled to certain information as an artist or a friend. So as a businessman, I've learned to just be good to people because I know what it feels like to have bad business done on you and to have bad contracts. So I try to give my people that I do business with a great experience so that way at the end of the day, you know, we feeling good about each other. We don't have to end up facing each other.
But Suge Knight didn't stop at questioning Snoop's loyalty to Tupac. He went much deeper. He described a system of control that's allegedly been running the music industry from the inside for decades. According to Suge, this isn't just shady behavior, it's institutional manipulation. And now, federal prosecutors are uncovering what looks like that same playbook in the Diddy investigation. Suge wasn't vague or indirect. He claimed that both Diddy and Snoop are gay, not as an insult, but as a key piece of how control operates behind closed doors, coming from the man who built Death Row Records and knew everyone's business firsthand. This isn't celebrity gossip, it's leverage, compromising situations, private footage. Suge says this system has existed for years, not as isolated incidents, but as a machine designed to trap artists and turn them into controlled assets. According to him, many artists start out as victims, but once they rise, they become part of the same cycle, using the system on the next generation. That's how control spreads, quietly, deliberately, and effectively. And just like clockwork, when federal heat shows up, everybody disappears. Suge says it happens every time. The same celebrities who were regulars at Diddy's wild parties are now acting brand new, pretending they saw nothing. What we're watching right now is exactly what Suge described years ago, a dirty system scrambling to clean house. One person falls and the rest scatter, claiming innocence at lightning speed. That kind of retreat isn't random, it's coordinated. These weren't real friendships, they were business alliances built on shared secrets. When one link breaks, everyone runs. And Suge's words carry weight for one reason. He's got nothing left to lose. He's serving life, no career to protect, no image to clean up. So when he talks about coercion, submission, and control being used to run the industry, it hits harder, especially since his claims line up with what the feds are now actively investigating. Then comes one of the strangest details yet. A fan testimony surfaces mentioning something called the boiled egg test, and guess who allegedly passed it? Snoop Dogg. At first, it sounds ridiculous. The fan points out Snoop's public obsession with boiled eggs, posting them, eating them, even turning them into part of his persona. But when you connect that to what prosecutors are reportedly looking into, initiation rituals and submission tests used to control rising artists, it suddenly doesn't sound funny at all. The boiled egg test allegedly isn't about food. It's about proving how far someone is willing to go to get in and stay in. Now think about this. Diddy is under federal fire, and Snoop, someone he's allegedly been close to for decades, isn't publicly expressing concern or calling for accountability. That silence is loud. Guilty people don't rush to defend. They get quiet, careful, and strategic, and that's exactly what Snoop did. Listen to his response. He acted surprised by the Diddy headlines, claimed he'd never seen anything like that, then flipped the moment into a self-promo, positioning himself as a better boss than the ones he came up under. That's not accidental. That's textbook damage control. Fake shock, quick distance, and heavy virtue signaling. Innocent people don't respond to federal allegations against longtime associates by advertising their own brand. That move says, "Don't look at me." But the puzzle pieces keep stacking up. Kim Porter's alleged documentation, Suge Knight's prison revelations, Snoop's absence during Tupac's final days, even that unsettling boiled egg obsession fans keep pointing out. Everything seems to point in the same dark direction. And here's the real nightmare. If Snoop Dogg, the laid-back face of hip-hop, was allegedly tied into this for decades, who else is wrapped up in the same web? How deep does it go? Because when federal prosecutors finally release those Homeland Security seized tapes from Diddy's mansions and those names go public, will you really be shocked? Or will it finally click that this industry may have been built on control, compromise, and silence from the very beginning?